indecisive. It's a lack of any real commitment to anybody at all. You all know that he is very heavy into kind of drinking as well as kind of boasting when he definitely does not have the strength to back it up. Blonde hair. He is extremely unkempt. He has a very particular scent to him. You can't quite place it in any particular spot, but it is foul beyond all belief. Um, and yeah, he just kind of wears more like ragged clothes. He definitely has not bathed or anything in probably half a decade.
Ever?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's an awesome character. In some ways, quite a typical pirate in some ways.
Yeah.
But with an edge. Is he Swede?
Yeah, he's Swede.
All right. So I opened up a new map just because you might not want to suspend your faculties of disbelief watching some of this. Ignore the numbers and stuff. I've changed things around, homebrewed it. But this map gives you a better idea of what sort of terrain you're going through at a very geometrical scale. So Bloody Bjorn's volunteered to come along. Captain Calico's with you. So a couple of him and Captain Calico. And let me look if there's anybody else who's coming. Anyone else volunteer? They're all kind of shuffling their feet, looking around. You see, a lot of them are still eyeballing some of the local girls or boys, and we could hang around here for a week while you guys try to go off on this trek in the jungle. Is Foul Frithoff dead?
Foul Firthoth got shot in the head by Jackie.
That's
like, just
right.
straight murdered. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
pretty sure
right.
he got crit.
Gone. Okay. Well played. All right, so unless you think of somebody you think should come along, and so we're going to have Calico Jack and Bjorn. How about Squeaky Joe?
Are any of the natives coming along as like a guide?
Do you want to pay the price?
What's the price?
You have to give them a musket each.
Do we have enough?
You'd have to give up your musket.
I don't have one.
I have a musket. I would surrender.
Okay,
And
well,
they'll agree to supply a couple guides, but they're not, they're NPCs, kind of generic, but they're kind of warrior type. But they volunteered from the villages because they've been told they'll be rewarded with one of these famous muskets.
we'll take them.
Okay, so come up with a name, perhaps. We'll do that. We could have one's name as Boku, the other one's as Kobu. And we'll just start it off, and the chieftain will wish you well. They get you to the main gates, and they sort of make a bit of a ceremony out of it. They have like all the villagers gather around below the main gates, and they have this mechanism that they've barely kept functioning over the centuries. At one time, whoever built this wall and so on was a bit more sophisticated. So it takes about 50 of these tribes people to actually maneuver what's left of the mechanics to get these massive doors to open. And they creak open, and there's this chanting going on as all the natives are like, "Oora chara, kong, oora chara, kong," and they're summoning this chant, and these drums are thrumming, broom, 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 ooh chara kong, ooh chara kong, and the matriarch comes forward, the matriarch, and you see unabashedly, you also see Sanar and Kuna come forward. And give the blessing. And they usher you through the gateway, and then the doors close behind it, crash shut, and you're left on this peninsula that is probably not very wide at this point, maybe 500 meters at the most wide. And it's a rocky, jungle-ridden swamp, vine-hanging sort of environment. Right away, you can hear the caw, caw, and the scream, scream, and you see primates jumping through trees and large, unknown aviation creatures gliding gracefully. There's a trail, and the guide explains that that's the trail they use to get that leads to the tar pits, and the sacrificial pole is on the other side of the tar pits at I'll just say it's at number 9, and that's the farthest the natives go. Basically, they bring sacrifices there and then get the hell out of there as quick as they can. So that's the stage. It's mid-morning. You were feasted, and some of you might be hung over a little bit, whatnot, and you check your weapons. The weather is cooperative, we'll say, at the moment. Yeah, so it's all open now. You can go your own way.
Is that a lake, that dark patch below the 9?
That's the tar pit.
Oh, I see. Oh, nice.
I don't see 9.
Up here, actually.
Okay, yeah.
You're at 2 right now, and each one of these hexes is about a kilometer. So I mean, you could get to 9 easily today if you follow the trail and so on. It'll slow down if you go into those. The palm trees, of course, are jungle. The triangles are mountains. The little tick things are like. Well, actually, there's a key right here. Oh wait, I have to open it. Pardon me. You can't see the key. Excusez-moi. Reveal areas. There we go. Up here is the key for this map. Okay. Now this is the fabled plateau, and on a clear day, my cat doesn't step on my keyboard. There is a big plateau there in the mists in the middle of the island.
Okay.
That's your destination if you want to get the Black Pearl. That's where the captain wants to go. He wants to get the Black Pearl. He's like, he hasn't been mentioning Jackie much. He's just kind of focused on that. Okay, so I'll let you guys take it for a bit. I'm going to set up a couple avatars for Boka and Baku.
So where's that black?
Number 15.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. Big.
Can I roll for the weather?
Oh yeah, to predict the weather, yeah, to see how it's going to happen. Today it's going well, but for tomorrow you could try and tonight.
I noticed there's some swamp to the right of the tar pits and the other's broken land on our maps. May check the weather here, fellow travelers. Character.
And go ahead. And Bjorn, you might be drinking already, by the way.
Yeah.
Probably is.
There's lots of the natives made this brew of weird kind of rum, but it's more of a beer. Beggars can't be choosers. So Buzz, your character gets down and does her usual thing with the the rest of you, how do you react? She always gives you the creeps. Everybody's a bit creeped out by her.
Yeah. You have to roll a wisdom roll.
Oh, I just rolled a d20. Whoops. I'm trying to get everything organized.
Anyone else want to do anything before we're setting off? Who's going to be your point person? Who's in front? Because the captain's looking around, he goes, and he's already swatting like at big mosquitoes and stuff. Stuff flying around. He's like, Jesus. He hasn't. Now, who's agreed to put on that stuff that smells like a monkey's arse, by the way? That paste.
Yeah, don't turn your mic off.
Yeah, my balls.
It's horrific, but the old lady was like, do this. Who's going to take it? The captain's like, sniffed his nose up. He's like, no way, I'm putting that crap on. It's like somebody's smearing feces on me.
You put it on. And she goes and she like snarfs it all over.
He's terrified of her.
Bloody Bjorn has no issues with it. In fact, you almost notice that he doesn't really even seem to register the smell.
He improves.
Probably, to be honest.
Just take a note of how you're armed at the moment. It's hot and sweltering. Did you grab any equipment from the boat? Like if it's not written on your character sort of thing, you're not going to have it. So you're looking at the terrain and you were warned that you may face some places like if we're going to that plateau, we're going to be crossing maybe some gorges or
Oil.
have to deal with a cliff or something. Who knows? But
Was there any food or anything that we could pick up?
the locals will barter for stuff if you're willing to do that. The boat's kind of low on provisions. I remember you guys were basically out of stuff.
Yeah.
I'll pick up rope and oil and flint. Torches we should get.
So I'll let you write that down, and then and keep it in reason because your ship was short on equipment. So
I have 2 screens open.
stuff hard to get will be hard to get. Like
That's why.
Oh,
I'm sorry for all the rolling. I had all these screens open. Everything was acting all funny here.
no problem. So we're heading
Um,
out.
so wait, can we barter for rations then?
Yeah, what do you have to offer? The natives like stuff like technology, and money doesn't really mean much to them.
Everybody hawk up your tech.
Little iron stuff.
What tech are we expecting here? I have maybe my clothes.
Yes, anything. What do we have on the that's tech? That's otherworldly. That's modern.
They would be like fingering stuff like metal earrings and rings, necklaces. Ooh, stuff with beads, and metal is unknown here. It's like these people haven't even hit the pottery stage yet.
I have some buttons on my clothing. You want buttons?
So they haggle it over and they strip you down of all access buttons and everything, and but you're loaded up with some very tasty treats wrapped in all sorts of palm leaves or all sorts of turtle meat, shark fin stuff, and crabs and oysters and you name it, and grubs. Like you see stuff like it's like, oh my god, you open the leaf one time for lunch and there's like a bunch of these huge freaking grubs in there and still moving. Delicacy. You guys would probably all freak out and scream and throw them into the bush as far as you could, except for actually Buzz's character would be like, oh. And so on. So it's that sort of nature, but to them it's delicacies. They're giving you really nutritious and probably tasty fare. But to move the game forward, you guys, if you fill in any holes as you see fit, I'll let you guys role play if you think of something. But we're going to be just leaving the peninsula now. I'm going to be rolling basically random encounters. I'm going to do hex crawl at this point. So when you enter a new hex, you have a chance of encountering something. And then I also roll a second die to see if there is a positive or negative background thing. Like there could be, if I roll something very positive, then there could be something in the hex that could benefit the party above and beyond an encounter. So it's a hex crawl that way. But it'll move pretty quick in the daylight. And they say the southern end of the island is a bit quieter. But I'll let you guys start. You guys want to follow the trail or go off trail? You'll be half speed in the jungle.
Follow the trail.
If we follow the trail, do we go to the swamps?
We go to Jackie.
It leads to the tar pits because that's where they gather tar for their tribe. That's one thing they do. They sneak out there once in a while. The brave ones.
Tar pit and then hills and then the number 9.
I see. But we have swamps on the right of the tar pit and broken lands and cliffs on the left. How brave do you feel?
Swamps everywhere. If
Yeah,
not
to
a
be-
swamp, is a mountain, is a hill, is a tree.
Yes, it all kind of sucks here, to be honest.
I say we take the swamps. Delicacies.
No, it's too slow.
Mm.
We take vote. The trail.
Yeah. The captain seems a bit distracted. He goes, "Yes, I agree. We go to the tar pits, and from there we'll see how the terrain looks, whichever way we get north to the plateau, hey?"
Yes, that sounds very good. We go to tar pits. That is good.
And then so you guys troop off. And through the rest of the morning, you travel through 3 hexes, and you're about halfway to the tar pits. And you notice now you've left. You don't see the ocean anymore on either side. You've been going through this dense jungle, and once in a while you have to scramble through gorges or up steep inclines and so on. It's not too bad though. The trail's pretty good. But soon you get to like a swampy area, and the hills break open. And the guides tell you that you're getting close to the tar pits. They're about a kilometer away or so. And just as you're going, you come across something that kind of brings you to a stop. As you're like, what the heck is that? And let me roll real quick. Okay, this is going to be Bloody Bjorn. He goes off to take a leak.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, this native beer, man." But he was taking a leak, what he thought was into like sort of a little recess in the ground. And then he realizes as he's looking a bit closer and his eyesight clarifies a bit, he starts to realize he sees the impression in the kind of the swampy ground. And it's like a huge chicken print, but way bigger, like too big, like bigger than a wheelbarrow. In fact, you could step into this footprint.
Which he will do.
And
Despite the fact he just pissed into it.
Yeah. And he's, would you look at that? And and he steps in and he looks. Yeah, well, you can picture it. It's like some colossal footprint. Oh my God, you're standing in it. And then you look down a little ways and you can see, yeah, there's another one, and it's probably about 20 feet or 15 feet away, of course, offset slightly. And further down, you see another one. That one's kind of filled in with water and muck from the swamps. So, you know, some of the trail has been just filled in because the creature walked through. But this particular print held its form.
Hey, what are the chances that we want to go hunt a giant chicken?
Oh,
Low? Okay. Well, I found giant chicken prints. We can go find that later, I guess.
And I'm not going to make you roll to see which direction they're going. It's pretty obvious. They're going sideways, kind of perpendicular, not perpendicular. How would I say it? Obtusely to your line? No, how is it when you're going at an angle? It's
Diagonally?
yeah, sort of, but not perpendicular or parallel. It's at an angle. You see that this tracks crossed your trail, right? But at like a 15-degree angle. And they're going in the same direction, like towards the tar pits, the tracks.
Wonder if Jackie wants to fight giant chicken, because it looks like she may have to. Unless this Kong they're talking about is the giant chicken. There's a funny name for a chicken. Bloody Bjorn will take a step out of the giant chicken.
Make a dexterity check. No, just kidding. You fall back in your own piss.
Is it really thick bush where we're at?
No. You've left the jungle, dense jungle, and you're into this more swamp and hills. And the hills are breaking into swamp. So I'll ping you. You're basically about here, and you predict. The natives are saying, "We close to Tar Pit now," and now you haven't shown the others the print yet. I don't know. You're just kind of still going, interesting.
Well, I've been yelling at them, asking if they want to hunt a giant chicken.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. The captain's
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? And captain comes over. I say, man, you got to lay off the rum this early in the morning. And he looks over, and then he sees the print. Oh, I say.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did say it.
And everyone kind of gathers around looking at this print going, oh.
And I guess it's pretty fresh.
Who here is like a scout type or a thief? Wants to make...
I am.
So you could make a roll here. Dex rolls, check out the tracks, see how recent they are. Actually, you don't really have to roll. You can tell that they're fairly fresh. Like, you predict within 12 hours at least, if not sooner. Or like within 5-6 hours maybe. Hard to tell. You've never seen prints like this. It's amazing. Everyone's a bit... the natives are kind of shuffling nervously themselves, and they're muttering amongst themselves and speaking of the gods of the island.
Okay, Shuang says to them, "You know what this is?"
Give me a charisma check. You have to roll under your charisma. They don't
Okay.
speak the language very well at all. One of them speaks a little better, and you corner him. What do you know about this? And yeah,
Success.
15 charisma. Nice. He's fidgeting. He goes, "The gods of the island. A god walks here. We should not be here. We leave when we reach the tar pits. That's as far as we go. The tar pits."
Their god is chicken?
And he shrugs. I don't know if they have chickens here. He doesn't know the word, but he calls it Rex.
Rex?
Rex. Yeah, Rex. The other ones nod in fear.
I say we go on. That's one bloody big footprint. That travels faster than us.
It's got longer legs, probably. It's got big feet.
And the captain's
Unless
like,
it's got little legs, which would look funny.
Yes, probably big legs and arms.
Are you pirates or are you chickens? Let's go, travelers. Bloody hell, I almost died on that boat. Still didn't make love to the captain, and now we're squabbling over a bloody chicken foot here.
You sexually fluctuated.
Okay,
go.
okay. Ladies first, go. I'll stay behind. I'll keep my eye out for any more chicken prints.
I cast my invisibility spell, and I'll travel forth. Tell you if anything's ahead.
Okay, I have musket. Don't get in front of the gun.
"Oh, interesting."
God.
Yeah, don't sleep. Everyone's a bit high strung. So Iapokap, you could do your thing and kind of fade in and out of the jungle, and if you want to try that effect.
Okay. Yeah. There's my invisibility is a D20. Oh, I'm supposed to roll in wisdom for that, right? So I have a 14 for wisdom.
Yeah, and then you have to roll less than that, so 13 or less.
You got a 12.
The captain shakes his head away from the prince and looks at you. Yes, we must go on. You're right. Bjorn. Yeah, quit drinking so much. And yeah, Iapokap. Of course. You. and you guys head off awkwardly into the bush, swatting each other necks and stuff. Make
Bjorn
a-
will like be sipping at his drink kind of as the captain looks away.
yeah.
So
Sneaks
I
in.
succeeded with my invisibility.
So you're like, you're not looking at me. I'm not here. You're fading into the shadows and stuff and smoke and mirrors, and everyone's like, whoa.
I'm gonna I'm gonna travel forward ahead of the party to see if they're towards. I'm gonna follow the big chicken feet Rex and see if I see anything in the distance.
Now it left the trail and went off through the swamp, so you would be slowed down and going into the swamp.
Ooh.
Which is possible, but dangerous and slow.
No, I don't want to do that alone. I'll travel forth ahead on the trail by myself a little ways.
Okay.
See if there's anything ahead up there that I notice strange.
Just making a couple rolls.
Trying not to grumble.
Indeed. Give me 1 second. Anyone else can intercede anytime or do anything they want with your character. Now, the morning's transpired, by the way. We are now getting into mid-afternoon, just so you know. We stopped for a lunch briefly, but the captain's been pushing things. You passed those tracks about, let's say, 15, 20 minutes ago now. And you start to smell something, by the way. And you smell like this intense decomposition smell. It reminds you of like burnt out oily torches and soot and also kind of rotting stuff.
Ooh. And I'm getting close to the tar pit.
Indeed. And sure enough, after a few more minutes off to the left, you'll hear this bloop, 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 and you'll see this weird blackish slime on top in this pool, bubbling and emitting a stench.
Okay. And I see no big-footed chickens.
No, you're not sure. You don't hear anything right now. Everything's quite quiet, actually.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna
that
run
weather
back.
roll. Pardon me. Did you succeed at that weather roll?
I did, yeah.
Okay. So I'll let. Oh yeah, I'll let you see the roll then. Pardon me. The weather is going to get a bit nasty.
Okay.
Actually, it's going to rain. Probably rain pretty damn good and be a bit windy. So it's going to be
Okay.
a very unpleasant evening.
I'm gonna kind of run back to the party. Tell them what I seen. I don't see no big chicken foot, you pansies.
Mhm.
And
smell?
she's gonna rain, and it's very stinky. Tar pit's up just ahead. Get on going, you mighty pirates.
To be fair, chicken probably flew away. But okay.
Could everybody give me a Constitution roll at advantage? So you can roll twice, but if you do not make it, let me know.
Oh.
As you've been going now, you've had to go kind of knee deep at some times because you're in a bit of the swamp area now, just so you know.
I failed.
Okay, at advantage, okay.
I succeed.
Bjorn made it, surprisingly.
So Carly,
Hi, old woman.
can you give me a, this would be either a, this would be an intelligence check or dexterity, your choice. The rest,
Okay.
the other two you saved, correct? Okay, you're good.
Success.
All right, so however you found out, you realize that you are infested with leeches. Big
infested?
suckers.
With leashes? Like they're on me?
They're attached to you, sucking your blood.
Ooh.
And could you give me a dexterity roll?
Yeah.
Just let's see.
Let's
Oh, your
see.
dexterity is really good. So they're biting you, and you took half damage because you made that success. So I'm gonna roll D4 total. These are big leeches, like not your regular pinky finger sized, but these
It
ones
just-
are like.
I just noticed them now. Everybody check for leeches. They take my blood.
Yes, I see some. You've got some on you.
Where? Get it off.
It's right on your cheek. Where? Right there. Oh my God. This
Take off
big
your
black
face.
thing. Yeah, they and the rest of you do have a couple, probably here and there, but not latched on like they did with Carly. And to get them off, Carly, you had to do damage to yourself as well, unless somebody knows how to get them off. If,
Um,
would somebody know
mean,
that
you just-
knowledge?
You just tug really hard. It will come off eventually.
do the natives know?
Ooh, good question.
The natives ran off. You don't see them.
Oh. With our musket.
Yep.
Dishonor. Dishonor on
You
your
realize
top.
they're gone. You're like, wait, what? So you rip these things off. We'll move on, and you take like a couple points damage. Like it's not pretty. They take little pieces of flesh. I got a video I should show you. It's brilliant, but later. Then you hear something break through the silence, and everyone's head whips around as you hear this primal bestial roar cut
How much
through.
damage did I lose, Darren?
Pardon?
How much damage did I take?
2 hits.
Okay.
And do you have a witch doctor or voodoo?
Yeah.
Yep, that's me.
Lococo.
Ah, you might know something about these things and whatnot. Probably use the smaller ones. It's common practice to bleed people with leeches.
Okay.
But these ones are huge, and perhaps you could find another way to use them, but I'll leave that up to you.
So Carly's character is bleeding pretty good then.
Well, because we ripped them off. We didn't. There's a way to extract them.
Okay.
You might have had an idea about that with your background,
You were up ahead scouting.
perhaps. But that voice, that cry, rips through the late afternoon, and it sounds near, yet it was far. It was a ways away, but it was up ahead, where the trail's leading, and through these tar pits, you realize.
Okay, I'll pick up one of those leeches.
And they're gorged on blood, size of a banana, probably.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're
look
big.
at,
Everything's big here, you realize. The trees are big. You're looking at a palm tree now. Once you walk through them now, as further you get into the island, these are getting huge.
I'm gonna grab the leech and look at Zhang Shuang. Just so you know, I have your blood.
And she spits on the ground at your feet. And now you have my spit too.
Oh.
Go ahead. The captain's he steps. All right, enough of this. Those bastards ran off. They're gone. I didn't even see them go. Sneaky bastards. I guess they did
Yes, I
mention they
didn't
weren't
see
going
them either.
past. Yeah. Say it again, Marty.
I said I didn't see them either, and then I took a fake swig of something.
Yeah. As I look away, same motion. You got this down pat, eh? And he's rubbing his is now his kind of goatee and mustache are getting a little bit disheveled, and but he's looking around and at these tar pits, and he goes, "All right then, I guess we're on our own." And he gestures with his rapier, and you guys, I guess, move forward. And that scream unsettled everybody, but we move forward, and the path goes through this tar pit area, and you see there's areas where people had gathered tar from places and then left, and after a while the trail starts to get slim, and up on your right, and it smells, right? Like a couple of you are trying to hold a cloth, some of you are like, "Oh, this ain't so bad," it's like, and so on. But off to your right you see something, a little mound in the tar pits, and as you grow closer you think you see it move, and then that's what was that? And you can move past it now because you'll be actually moving around the right side of the tar pits if you follow. You're actually at this point here.
Still no sign of the natives.
No, they're gone. Or disappeared. You're not sure. They disappeared, I should say. And you can move forward now as you realize you're going to break out of the swamps or the tar pits soon. And but you saw something move on the left, and you saw a little mound of rocks or something in the mist, 100 meters away or something. But you'd have to slog off into the swamps and tar pit a bit to see it, or you can keep moving. The natives
You're
told you
welcome
that
to.
the sacrificial pole, remember, was near 9.
Yeah.
So the trail does keep going. It's pretty lean trail at this point, though.
It's a pile of rocks, you said?
That's what it looked like.
So no.
I'm gonna.
Like,
Am I still kind of invisible?
I'll say for now that that's occupied all your time, and everyone else has been just swatting at flies and taking leeches off. But
Okay,
whoever put that stuff on their skin, though, does notice that they don't get many insects attracted to them and stuff. And whoever didn't, the captain, you see that he's covered in insect bites, and he's constantly swatting and stuff.
except for his face, where frickin' Zhang put stuff on it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right. And I guess he would have put some on. Yeah, he did. She did. Yeah, he conceded to that. So you're all doing pretty good, I guess, unless anyone was like, "I ain't put that stuff." But I think you were all good, right?
And then I'm gonna head forward a little bit.
Okay.
If I'm still kind of semi-invisible there, and kind of get closer, look at those rocks.
Sure.
Because it's gonna rain soon, right? Or if it's not raining already.
Yeah, the clouds are moving in. Yeah, definitely. And you figure you could reach the sacrificial pole before light or dark, pardon me. You think it's 1.5 miles away, right? And it's still you estimate about 4 hours of daylight left, so it should be able to do it. And give me a roll though, anyone want to join Ilokokop through the swamp?
Shuang will
No.
She's gonna sneak, though. She's being very stealthy, and she gets advantage on stealth rolls.
Okay.
I'll have Bjorn will have his gun out, but that's about it.
Okay, you move closer, and the others are watching you, and you guys take this opportunity to have a break, let's say, and you're breaking out some food and munching on the locals gave you some grub, I guess, if you're not too picky. Unless that got turfed. Like I said, some of you might have a delicacy back in Taiwan. Tom. Carly's character, probably. Anyway, the two characters that move forward, as you come closer, you realize that the mound of rocks is not it's not rocks. This thing, it's a thing. And in fact, it looks to be like you're both kind of stagger to a stop because you can't help it, and your eyes go agog as you're looking at what appears to be the largest. What could it be? A lizard? Like you've seen these things in the jungles and whatnot in the Caribbean. You know, you've seen iguanas, they call them, and geckos, salamanders. But this thing is the size, and you've in fact seen. You recall, and some of you might have been to India or perhaps Africa and have seen elephants or hippopotamuses, but this thing's bigger, a lot bigger.
Oh, wow.
It looks like a whale you saw, if you recall, in the ocean. But actually, here it is, and it appears to be laying in the tar.
Is it breathing?
Is it stuck?
Oh, the both of you are probably correct. From your distance, you're still 75 meters away or so, and you're could each give me a dexterity or intelligence roll to see if you can ascertain or clues, unless you want to get closer.
I'll take the roll.
So actually didn't really need a roll. You kind of move forward and yeah, you're looking at a frigging giant creature that appears to be stuck in tar. And it lurches and kind of and gives out this sudden moan, and it sounds like the biggest organs of a cathedral you were in, remember, back in Veracruz at one time, and you heard the organs all hitting their notes, tuning, and it sounds like that. And the creature lurches, and the creature has a massive, what appears to be a sail made out of leather down its back, and
Oh, wow.
seems to normally walk on four legs, similar to like a hippopotamus, but it has a long tail.
Shuang is going to set up a rope advantage system. Just gonna say, what's it called? Mechanical advantage with the rope. He's like, we're gonna pull it out.
Wow, really?
Don't pull that out. No, that'll eat your
I
head.
get my rope.
So the others, while you're doing that, the others are back watching, and they, do you want to do anything? Bjorn is kind of trying to sneak a drink here and there, and the captain's kind of nervously referring to like this natives kind of scratched out map they gave them on a piece of bark, and it shows the pole's up there. He says it's not far. We have to head in those hills. He's pointing. What are those two up to? We got to get out of here.
Are we close enough to cut kind of like this that skin on it that looks like
No.
a sail?
Yeah, you'd have to get closer if you want to get within that distance. And you're there, Carly, so what you see, she's like, valuable hide, I see. Many poses may be made.
He's not dead yet. You blood on me.
Yeah, the
It's,
thing is exhausted and kind of lurching a bit, but you see it's exhausted and it's kind of slowly being absorbed by the tar.
Does she make the?
Ooh.
Should I roll a dex for the?
You want to
Rope?
try to hook up some pulley system? It's a stretch, a big stretch. And what's your background? What class? Do you have an advantage for that sort of thing? The rest of you are waiting now, and you need more material. You need all the rope the party has. You need time. This would be a major effort. It's like pulling 3 elephants out of a friggin' ditch.
Oh well, we don't have time. You get the sail.
You have knife. You have a knife. I don't have a blade. I only have a juju stick.
Get cutting.
You're gonna kind of.
We have to kill it first.
I want some of its skin for armor. Protect you, me, everybody.
Use it for sale.
Cover us
Leave
from
this
rain.
godforsaken place.
So we'll roll the narrative forward at this point. You move up, and we'll say the creature it has expired, like of exhaustion, and it's being sucked into the tar pits. But it's an amazing scene, and you go forward, and I'll let you roll to see if you want to extract something from it, harvest something. You could. I'm going to give you a roll though, and you're going to be at dexterity at advantage. But if you fail, something nasty might happen.
Success. Did you roll at advantage?
No.
That means you get to roll again.
Oh, okay. Oh, it asks if I want advantage of 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can always do that, but now you've already rolled once, so just do another normal roll.
Success.
That was an 8. That's
Okay,
lucky.
if you would have failed that, the creature would have sucked you into the quicksand tar, and you would have probably died.
It almost did.
It rolls over and twists suddenly as you get close. And you have to run, basically, as the thing thrashes and gets sucked into the tar. It bubbles and blurps.
Did we get anything?
Darn it.
We both passed.
No, you didn't. You just evaded death.
All right. Well, let's move on.
Yeah, it was kind of a death trap if you went in and tried to harvest it.
Good.
But you come back and the others are eating and drinking or whatever. And they see you come back, kind of splattered with a bit of tar.
Big dead lizard in that tar pit. And then kind of warn everybody, the whole party, about what we seen.
Yeah.
And
they don't believe you, some of them. They're probably like, yeah, whatever. A hippopotamus out here?
and yeah, just warn everybody.
So we'll move forward now. And I'm going to spin the story, and you guys can role play or just see it any time, unless you have anything else to say. You leave the tar pits and the gathering place, and the trail does kind of go through barely, and for the moment, we'll say that you stay on it through luck or ability, and because it was freshly used, you realized that they had brought Jackie here, possibly, if somebody had. There's fresh tracks, right? And you travel through that hex to around number 9, not a Beatles song. And now we're going to shift the camera completely to another scene, perhaps another time on the scale, and everyone is going to have to watch for a minute as me and Marty do a little bit of role play here. As Marty, Jackie, now awakens with her wrists on fire, biting. There's something biting into her wrists, and she can't feel her hands. They're numb, stinging. She's got a headache, and there's a taste on her tongue of some bitter kind of chemical or something. Bad taste and headache. And you can hear the first thing that woke you up was the sound of some bird cawing. And you look up and you see a flock, and your eyes just pop open. They just happen to see the side of a mountain, and it's very jungle, dense jungle, and super steep, super steep. There's a massive stone bridge that's a ruin, more bridge, but it's from some ancient civilization, and it's spanning, joining that cliff face that you're looking at to where you are now on a platform. It's overgrown with huge vines, leaves bigger than you. There are trees clinging to the cliff face and so on. It's right out of some exotic scene. And your eyes kind of water a bit, and you blink, and you realize that your hands are tied above you. And you're hanging there, and your arms, of course, were carrying all that weight in your circulation, right? It's just, you're in a lot of pain. And you try to get your footing and you scramble and get up, And blinking, look around, you realize you're on a bit of a plateau, a crest, and on your right there's a gorge, and it goes just into, you don't know where it goes because you can't see down it, but it seems impossibly steep. And like I said, there's a large archway, causeway going across that span, and the ravine goes off in either way. Behind you is another cliff face going up impossibly to a plateau, and your eyes just snap and look around, and a big flock of birds comes off from that's what brought your attention to that wall. These huge, beautiful birds trailing massive feathers. Something startled them, you realize, as things start to make sense and your brain catches up. And you remember this night in this sort of whatever, this wigwam tent the natives used, and being in this party and all these people and beautiful and music and drink and everything else. And then looking into the eyes of Sonar as you were laying on your back and she was touching you and drawing stuff on your face and arms and torso and legs. And you look down and you can see that you're kind of covered a bit in a script, some sort of chalk ink pattern.
Am I wearing clothes still?
Yeah.
Or just like
Sort of.
sort of?
Yeah. You're not sure how far things went previous night, but you realize that yeah.
Like it takes the top 10 worst lays I've probably had in my life.
Well, or best. Sorry. Your head spins around and you wonder what startled the birds, and then you suddenly realize as you hear a snort, this massive deep snorting sound, and you hear rocks tumbling and something's very large is coming up the ravine.
What am I tied to? Like I'm tied like this, but like to what?
Okay, you spin and twist and spin around, and you're tied, with pretty good. You're tied to what appears to be an ancient pole that's carved in rings and some sort of totem pole, and and your eyes widen as you see that there's skulls and people being put on altars and sacrificed, being cut open and stuff.
Okay. Are my legs tied at all, or is it just my hands?
Legs are free.
Legs are free? Can I spin my torso around so that I'm facing the pole?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to grab onto the rope if I can with my fingers and try to climb while using my feet as leverage, trying to climb it up. If it's got little things in it, it should have at least some sort of like footing on it.
Do you have an expertise in this stuff? What's your profession? You're the fighter.
The master gunner. So I'm
Master
not
gunner.
that great at dexterous stuff, but
You're on a ship.
I'm very strong.
I won't give you disadvantage. I'll just give you a dexterity check as you. Yeah, you have the high strength, right?
Oh, fail.
Okay, you're scrambling and damn it, and it's awkward, with your hands tied, and you try for a minute, but then you stop and you freeze for a second, and you slowly, your eyes spin around, and your head turns, and as your heart freezes and you almost piss yourself as you see this large black shape, this big hand comes up and grasps the top of the ledge. And it's a humanesque hand, I suppose, except the thumb is not like opposable. The thumb's kind of on the side, and it's got black fur, and it's leathering kind of look. And it suddenly these two eyes, big black orbs on a hairy head appear. And you've seen monkeys and stuff before, but not this size. And you find yourself looking at Kong as he, with a quick move, and it just defies you, like this thing lurches up really fast and reaches its full size on a ledge very near you and sniffs, and it's making that noise again, snorting. and he looks at you and he shuffles sideways suddenly real quick, and his knuckles go on the ground and he hits the ground, and he shuffles and snorts, and then he gets close and then he sits on his butt, and he's about, it seems he's closer than he should be. He's still about 100 meters away, 75 meters away, but he suddenly sits and he scratches his ear with his one finger, and he's looking at you though intently and just scratching. He's seen a lot of your kind, but they're different color, different look. What color is your hair?
It's almost like reddish.
Okay, see, he may not have seen a redhead before. You realize that. What's your intelligence?
13, so decent.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be right back. I'll let you think about this. And okay, it's the old trope, but you wonder what would I do in that situation, right? I find it fascinating. So the other two, think of what you're doing as you're moving to the jungle and getting close. But to let you know, something is going to happen. Anyway, I'll be back in a couple minutes.
I'm gonna die.
Oh yeah, it sounds about like you might just die.
Yeah, times are tough. You could play dead.
We watched the movie not long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a 3-hour movie. It's a commitment.
Yeah, I think this is gonna have to be a stealth mission. And Jackie's not very stealthy.
No.
What's your charisma? Bad?
Yeah. I'm bad at two things, which is being dexterous and being charisma. We're talking 7 for dexterity and 8 for charisma.
You had to be a red. You had to be a redhead. All right, let's play this side a little bit more because the others are moving as fast as they can, but something is going to happen, as I mentioned. Yeah, the creature sits, and he's about 50 meters away, which is 150 feet, but it seems he's huge. So he's looking at you, picking his ear, and looking around once in a while. He looks bored, looking down at the gorge, and then he'll look at you intensely for a minute.
I don't think she would know very, very much about gorillas or monkeys.
One more thing, Marty.
Yeah.
You're looking at this huge creature, and like I said, you're shivering now. You're like realize that this thing could pop me in its mouth and just crunch, gulp. He gets up and comes over kind of nonchalantly, looks a bit to the right, looks a bit to the left, and then he reaches with one arm really quickly, and not too tenderly, but he's you're not sure if he knows what he's doing or not, but he reaches down and he pulls the rope that's tying you to the pole, and it snaps like nothing. And give me a strength check. You're strong though, right? Aren't you?
Yeah.
Because it jerks you around, like even, you know what I mean, this huge thing. And it feels like he's pulling your arms out of your socket, but you're strong enough that you don't take damage. But it's like he wrenches, and then he steps back again and sits and reaches over and grabs this big chunk of bark off this tree with his arm and just reefs it off, this tearing noise, and he starts to chew it, ka-chunk, 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 and he's looking at you, and he didn't do anything with you. He just tore those ropes that were tying you, and you're free. Your arms are free. You got the remnants of the rope are kind of on each hand, but you're standing there. Your arms are still stinging from hanging there. You're not sure how long. You don't think it was very long.
Alright. Do I have any of my weapons on me, or are those all like? Is it just my clothes on my back that I basically have?
Give me a luck check, and that would mean what's your lowest stat, and you roll that.
It's a 7. Okay, so I'm rolling my dex.
Yeah.
It fails.
You're like in the old classic 1950s two-piece suit, right? If you're lucky, you have like a belt with. Yeah, you don't have anything really. Lucky if you have clothing on.
Yeah. Is there any way to back out of here, or is it just like the bridge that I can kind of see?
Okay, you see the bridge, and it leads to what appears to be a road along that bluff on the other side that was cut in by those ancients. And then on your side, you seem to be the remnants of some ruin of some temple complex that was perched here, and it's possible there's refuge somewhere in those ruins. And then your head turns back, and you see, to your surprise, you lurch suddenly. And give me a dexterity check. As he's leaned forward, and he flicks you with a finger.
A success, apparently.
Nice, because you realize he goes to flick you, like, flick, flick, flick. Do something. And you realize it could have hurt you if you would have missed that. Like, it was, but instead it hit you, and you kind of, it was like, oh, being pushed by a, if you ever worked around horses when they actually accidentally push you, or on purpose, when they push you, it's like, oops, that's a 2,000-pound animal shuffling into me. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. But this is a 2,000-ton animal. And you stumble to your knees and kind of wipe out, and then you get up, and his hand is still there, and it's like he's pointing at you, and then he sits back again and starts chewing this thing and looking at you.
Okay.
Snort, snort.
You're very nice. I'm just going to leave now. And I'm going to like, I'm going to get down as low as I can and basically like shuffle backwards, making myself look smaller and uninteresting if I can.
Oh, and you see him right away. His two arms smash the ground in front of him, and the ground shakes. And you stumble somewhat, and he reaches out quick with these arms that are like, these arms are 100 feet long, and he grabs you in this huge calloused grip, and you look, and he brings you close to his face for just a second and snorts, and one of his eyes, you see there's a scar go down the side. Now you can see his face he's old. He's old, this old giant gorilla. He's scarred. His grip on you is calloused and strong. His left arm is smaller though, and you see somewhat twisted. There's an injury from it, but his right arm is powerful and quick. And he grabbed you, and he squeezes as he grabs you, and you did succeed. Oh no, that you have to give me a strength check, and you have excellent strength. But regardless, I've seen you fail the
a failure there.
And bones creak and crack in your ribs, and the air is forced out of you as he squeezes you, and you take damage.
Yeah.
And he puts you down roughly in front of him on that platform, and snorts and hits the ground, wham, 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 and then sits back again and starts to nibble the shrubs.
Okay. Breathing. Right. Okay. Well, I guess I'm staying here then. I will just sit down and begin to try to mimic what he's doing. Like, if he's sitting down and, like, gnawing on stuff, I will sit down and pretend to, like, gnaw on shit, too.
I'm just rolling for your damage here a minute. That hurt quite a bit.
I do have quite a bit of health, so I should hopefully be okay.
You took
As I say that
10.
and then
Oh,
immediately die.
10? Do you have 10 hits?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. You take 10 hits, which is no. Yeah, and then he sits and you start to sort of mimic him and start to pretend to eat things and
Well, because like thinking on it, like I do know that like monkeys and gorillas are kind of like people, and maybe if I mimic him, it'll be endearing.
and you almost get the sense too that you recall people like it wasn't uncommon to go to a village or city and anywhere in the New World even where people would have animals tied up and then as showpieces, right? And they would have
Yeah.
cans and collect money and the animals be forced to do things and not have pleasant lives probably. You sense there's a reverse here. That
I'm
you're
just going to
being
pretend to be as
expected.
cute as possible.
What do you how are you going to do that? You realize now
Um,
he's expecting you to perform.
um,
You haven't seen King Kong, have you?
no,
It's
I
a
haven't.
brilliant movie. You should watch it. It's really good.
We
Um,
watched it recently.
Yeah, and they're all very good. All the versions are quite well. Jack Black's is very good. This is the scene you might notice, recognize if you've seen his version. Well, that's so he's gonna flick you again or grab you. Now you can run and run and get cover just to metagame a bit, but you're in a dangerous spot, man. If he can, if he wants, kill you like that. You realize if he wants to,
yeah.
he could just squish you anytime.
How far away am I from the ruins or anything in any of the directions?
Oh my God, yeah, you're still looking around. You realize you're in the mountains. Or not in the mountains, you're in the hills at the edge of the mountains. And pardon me, it's actually not quite accurate on this map. Pardon me everybody, I have to move everything forward. I'm gonna say that you guys are plowing through this jungle here, okay? Right here. Because she's actually being held in this area here. So
Did we hear all of that happening?
No, because you're about to be interrupted by something. But let's finish up quick with Marty, because this creature sits back again and giving you a bit of space, and he starts eating this bark, stripping it off these chunks of tree with his heads that size of a freaking barn.
Where
You have-
is, and I know this sounds strange, but this
Ye-
thing is kind of dumb, I've realized. But from where I'm at, where is the sun?
Oh. You look like it is getting. There's a few hours left. It's hard to tell where the sun is because you're in this sort of gorge. Hard to tell.
Okay.
In what context? Why do you need to know? I can kind of help you.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up, kind of shout, "Oh my God, what is that?" And I'm going to point off into a corner. And then when it turns to look, if it turns to look, I'm going to fucking book it. That was the
Nice.
plan. And if there was the sun there, that I would point to the sun because it's a stupid animal. I'm assuming it would look when I point.
Oh, I don't know if that's a human, but this thing seems to be pretty clever. This creature. And also, yeah, I'll give it. Of course, you give it a try. I would give you a charisma check.
Fuck.
I would say. As
Oh, still a failure. That's so sad.
okay, it comes down again, and he gives you one of those flicks. Give me a dexterity check.
I'm so bad at it.
Okay. So that one hurt. He's getting annoyed, and he gives you a pretty good flick, and you actually go flying. He hits you. It feels like you been full on double kicked by a horse. You lift off the ground. He just kind of, and you hit some rocks behind you. Oh, for 6 points damage.
Okay. We're still okay.
And he
We're still
stomps and hits
here.
the ground again. And he points at the ground in front of you. Now, you're raised. What was your background? Do you know any like Christmas carols or something?
Yeah. I know like pirate drinking songs. I could try that, I guess. Yeah, I guess I'll start just singing drinking songs if it's wants entertainment. I'm not that great at it though.
You better be.
I'm not.
Well, it's a monkey. It probably won't take much. Just what do you got? Describe how you do this. I'm sorry to put you on the spot, Marty, but it's this where DMs have a lot of fun with our role playing. Faced by a giant monkey that can squish you. He's like a kid who could throw a tantrum. He could grab you and fling you against the wall or something, right? And like,
Yeah.
Oops, didn't mean to do that. Pick you up. Why aren't you standing? Why aren't you standing?
Yeah. I'll try to like calm myself down and pretend that I'm in like a tavern and start doing like a little jig with my arms as we'll just start recounting all the shitty drinking songs that I've heard in bars.
And the creature, like, it's everything it does is exaggerated. You got to picture this is like a 2-year-old kid, if that.
Yeah.
Right? So suddenly he's like, yeah, crashing the ground and laughing. He sees, and the more exaggerated your emotions, you realize, the more he seems to laugh and chortle. So I'll give you a charisma check at advantage to see if that sedates him, or if he gets a little excited, tries flicking again or something. You realize.
Oh, an actual success. Okay. Decent.
So yeah, like I said, he seems to be appeased for the moment, laughing, and suddenly, and I'll give you a roll here. You can make a dexterity roll.
Fuck.
Because you're doing this for a while. You're dancing and you're singing. You're doing this jig, like, and you find yourself singing pirate songs and such. You failed.
Yeah.
And do you know any pirate songs? What do we do with the drunken sailor? What do we do with the drunken sailor? What do we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning?
Yeah.
Hi, up, and you start just going and getting into it with gusto. And he's laughing and chortling and laughing, but then suddenly he jumps up and his head perks and he looks off to the left and his bad arm reaches forward and scoops you up.
Fuck.
And it's gentle as he can. Make a strength check.
Success.
And suddenly he's moving at an impossible speed, carrying you tucked to his chest, where it's warm and fuzzy in this fur, and he's got this huge palm engulfing you, and he's jumping off and impossibly grabbing ledges, and a lot of these ledges have areas that he's used before, and he seems to know this area quite well, and he moves down this gorge impossibly quick, and he seems quite focused, like he heard something, and he's moving fast, carrying you, and you're being spun around and lurching. You can imagine you're on a roller coaster ride, frankly, moving down this gorge. And for the moment, we'll leave you as we move to the others. Now, the others have moved through this jungle area and hill complex and have been told where this pole is supposed to be. And sure enough, you find this kind of ruinous area, or the jungle. The mountains kind of come out of the jungle suddenly, and there's a series of steps that go up onto these tiers, and on this one broken tier, there's a pole, And as you're watching, though, the ground is thumping suddenly.
I hide. Is this
And
for us?
the captain's like, "What is that?
Hide.
Hide?"
I heard hide. Yes, I'll hide. Sounded like an order. Yeah, do it.
Everyone scatters. So you all start looking for spots, and it is jungle-esque and quite clear. And the rumble kind of it's like an earthquake. When some of you might have been in some city that suffered from an earthquake, and you remember a sensation like that, and you're all running and hiding, and suddenly breaking through the jungle, like knocking over trees, are a herd of these creatures that are massive, if not bigger than the creature you saw in the tar swamp you told them about. And there's probably a bunch of them, like 15, 20, and they all seem to be in a panic, running through the jungle, right into your area.
Run away!
Oh God!
That's intense.
So used to unmuting,
I know.
but the effect was accurate.
That was.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god. All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to run to the swamp? Do you want to run to the mountain? Or do you want to run in front of them, away from them? Or do you want to stay where you are?
Is there anything
have
we
to
can
decide.
climb?
We're beside trees, aren't we?
You're around this area here. Pardon me, I had to change some things. You're near 10.
Oh, they're like palm trees.
Yeah, that's jungle. And then the
Um,
mountains kind of. So you're at the edge. There was some big ruin up in the mountains. Massive ruin, ancient city, long, like thousands of years ago, overgrown, blown up by volcanoes or whatever. But the valley here is being like, you see these creatures coming through, these four-legged, massive brontosaurus-looking things.
But
So,
does,
choices.
like, does it look like the trees would be safer? Like, or do they just run over the trees?
You don't have time to really. I'll let you decide. You can go to the swamp, you can run to the cliffs, you can stay put, or you can try outrun them, stay in front of them. So you have choices, or something else you want to come up with. You tell me. Those are the choices right away open. You have to decide. These creatures are huge. Like I said, they're freaking size of a small house.
Um,
Uh,
Bloody Bjorn's going to grab a nearby like leaf, if there's one. I know that they're rather large. And he's going to tuck up beside a tree and cover himself with a leaf and like get as close as possible, so he's kind of like hidden up against a tree.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
not outrunning nobody, and he is well aware of that.
I'm drunk.
I'm just gonna go and have a nap. Wait for the shit to leave.
Oh, nice.
Um,
I love it. Okay, Zhang?
She'll run for the swamp.
Swamp. Okay. So I go swamp. Quick on her feet. Isla Kokap?
I'm not invisible no more, right?
Oh no.
No, you've been doing stuff, and
Can I cast my invisibility again and kind of
if you
duck?
made the wisdom roll right last time, so you can.
Yep.
Okay, so you can roll again the wisdom. You have to get less. It'll succeed even if you fail, but you can't cast it again.
Ooh.
All right, didn't pass. So you're
Success.
staying put then. Jorn is hiding. Zhang is the swamp. The captain, where do you think he'll go? He's like looking around. He's thinking, I'm gonna make an intelligence check to see if he actually gets a clue, because there is better choices here. I don't think he passed. 16. Let me shit. Calico Jack's intelligence is 11. Not the smartest captain. Sorry, guys. He runs He joins you, runs toward the swamp. He doesn't have a clue. He joins you, Zhang. Not that I'm judging your call, but I'm just saying he joins you. He doesn't know where to go. Anyone else with you? Okay, so these creatures come pouring in. So who stayed there? It doesn't matter if you were hiding. You have to make a dexterity roll.
Yeah, Bjorn did.
Made it?
A second. Is it normal or just with advantage or just normal?
Ooh.
Success critical.
Actual success. That was for Bjorn. But yeah.
Oh, okay. So if you ever watch this movie, you're one of the lucky characters in the movie that actually did a pinball move through the legs of this creature. It's an epic scene. These creatures come rumbling through, and this one guy just stumbles through, and luckily he's walking through the legs, and they're scissoring and stuff. You know, it's you find yourself unbelievably. This was Buzz's character, by the way, unscathed completely, and these things stepped everywhere but where you were, and you moved, and just it was brilliant. Yeah, Bjorn.
One eye and all.
Indeed. Bjorn, very lucky. You realize one step right beside you, and it was that close to just crushing you, stepping on you.
As it just barely misses him, he's gonna take a swing.
And these things thunder around you. Now who ran to the swamp?
Yes.
Okay, as you run to the swamp, you stop because you turn to the left, and you can see now what was chasing this herd. And you see Rex, the largest lizard yet. This one's on 2 feet, its hind legs. Massive lizard, must weigh, Jesus, more than all the tea in China.
Does he see us?
Head the size of a horse carriage. Teeth, size of your arm. And it's lurches chasing these things. And it came along the swamp area. And so you both have to make dexterity checks.
Good luck, Captain. And also to me, because I've failed them before.
Captain stays hidden.
Is it for stealth?
Yeah.
Because I get advantage on stealth roll.
So roll twice, because if you don't, this thing might bite you.
Success.
Okay, so the thing's like, and it tromps by you guys, and chasing this herd somewhat, but then it stops. It smells something, and comes up, and snorting. And at that point, Jackie, you're being brought by this being, and it stops suddenly on the edge of this cliff, and it's got its good arm holding on to this little impossible outcropping of rock. You're perched 500 feet above this river flowing through a gorge, and he's looking down, and you see this huge herd of creatures, lizard creatures, stomping by the jungle, knocking over trees, being chased by this huge lizard.
Yeah, I'm still being clutched by this thing, right?
At the moment, yeah.
All I can do is just be at his whim.
I know.
I can't really go anywhere at the moment.
Well, it didn't eat you.
Yes. Heavy yet.
So, everyone declare what they want to do this round, as Kong is actually hesitating and just hanging back and watching from his perch.
Jackie is going to stay where she is. Bjorn is going to take another swig of his drink from underneath the leaf and hope that whatever the fuck is out there hasn't noticed that he's there yet.
Spear more of that monkey feces on myself. Uh,
Uh, I'm not dead yet. It's pretty good.
I'm gonna stand back too and kind of hide for a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay hidden. I don't know what else there is to do.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm surprised. You made the rolls. You all avoided being crushed or eaten so far. And so, what happens is basically Kong suddenly puts your character, Marty, Jackie, just perches you, drops you onto this little ledge way up, 500 feet up on this cliff. And then he gives out this earth-shattering roar. And it actually puts to shame the roar this Rex made. It's just, you hear King Kong now asserting his domination over the valley. And the lizard spins around, twists, and its tail whooshes, because it was looking for you guys. It smelled you. It smelled warm-blooded creatures, right? And such and so on. And it was looking to eat you guys, and it would pick you off and eat you one by one, potentially. Only those who survived would run toward the mountains, and they'd have to deal with Kong, by the way. Did anyone run to the mountains? No, you all stayed hidden around the swamps. The ones who stayed hidden had to deal with the herd, by the way, and then the ones that ran to the swamp ran into Rex. But Rex hears the call, and you all do, and you look up and you see this huge black creature, giant friggin' monkey, gorilla, beating its chest, giving out this epic roar, and the lizard thing spins and looks up, and it doesn't respond. It's quiet. It's kind of like its tail is twitching, its head's kind of down, twitch, 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 to side to side. Anyone want to do anything? Not that you could do any much, but
is the herd gone now?
They're heading toward a cliff near the ocean, where they're gonna do the old bison thing and clamber off, die.
Okay, so it's clear for me to cross from where they were herding.
If you want to move, you could get in the range of that Rex, though. He's close by. I've been distracted.
Yeah,
He's looking up at that giant lizard or gorilla.
I'll kind of go towards the swamp where if I caught a glimpse of where they went, then I'm gonna try to head towards the Coco, or I mean Zhang, Shuang, and the captain.
Okay, so you guys kind of are gonna gather together. We can get out of here. We can move north towards the plateau. Now, I'm not sure if you saw Marty's character. You guys could all make disadvantage dexterity rolls.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Shuang would assume that her character is with the monkey, because that's what we were told.
Mm.
Oh, another critical success.
Oh, at disadvantage.
Oh no, I didn't do disadvantage.
On the bluff up ahead, you did see the giant gorilla put down somebody on the edge, and it's like, Jesus, is that Jackie?
He's down to the cliff. But be quiet. Be quiet. Shuang will stealthily make her way in that towards where she thinks Jackie is.
Now, so you went toward the swamp, so you have to sneak back. Now the herd left, and this giant lizard creature is sniffing around, and so you start to move. Make a dexterity check to see if you can avoid being spotted by the Rex. If you move, this thing can spot you.
I thought it was looking at the gorilla.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh, I failed.
If you moved, right?
I succeed.
So, Buzz, your character went to move, right?
Yeah, well, I kind of was showing up. I showed up to the swamp.
She's also invisible.
Yeah, she's invisible though.
No,
Yeah. Forgot about that.
okay, I'll give you advantage because this thing smells and stuff and
Mm.
hears really well. So you can roll again. You failed once. And the other one succeeded.
30.
Yes.
Okay, the lizard thing's head twists and stuff because it's looking still for prey. It's automatic sometimes. It's like a fish. If it sees something move, it'll grab it and just chomp, 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 and swallow it. So both of you can move this round. So where do you want to go? Do you want to cross the, it'll take you around to cross the space of jungle to reach the bluffs if you want to go to the cliff. I'm not sure what your intent is on moving. You have to let me know.
I want to find the best hiding spot possible for where I'm at.
You realize it's the mountains.
Okay.
Like, you can't hide out here. Well, you kind of can, but there's no protection out here. You realize the mountains, the lizards can't go in the mountains.
Okay. I don't feel like there's anything I can do with this dinosaur or the King Kong.
We want to
No.
go get Jackie.
I'm gonna head towards the mountain.
So am I.
Okay. So this round you're passing that area, and you as well, Carly?
Yeah, because that's towards Jackie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So you're moving, both of you, across that open space. The creature's there, though, just to warn you, might attack one of you.
So we-
Actually, you
Maybe
both
we
succeeded. Actually, you both evaded its attention, right? You both succeeded. Oh, pardon me. So you're safe this round, because if this thing bites you, it's like, oh man, you're effed up. What are you doing, Marty? Let's go back to Jackie's. You see this monkey is just like his hair is up, and he reminds you of like the drunken boys in the bar who would get like worked up over some trivial matter and be all macho, like, oh, I'm bigger than you and you're bigger than me, and this monkey is
That's exactly what Jackie does.
he's ignoring you right
She
now.
knows it well.
He's staring at that lizard, like he's just and he's pissed off.
So I'm 500 feet up on the cliff.
Yeah, you can't get down there right now.
How much higher is the top of it?
Another 500 feet.
Fuck. I'm just gonna like tuck myself into the corner if I can for right now and see if this thing leaves me. I don't.
He looks at you a couple times, sees that you're just staying there, dormant. He looks at you intently. He gets real close with his face. And he's looking at you.
I'm just gonna stay here.
Sweat starts to trickle down. He's just intently. And he snorts and goes back, intently looking at the lizard. And down below, you can see the Rex is sniffing around, looks up at the giant Kong, and then looks around, and its head's darting around, looking. And you thought you saw they were hiding stuff. So give me a dexterity check, Marty, to see if you spotted people down there in the jungle. Hard to spot. You're not sure if something's distracting this lizard, and Kong is just like watching too, curiously.
I'm distracted by the giant gorilla in front of me.
Yep. All right, back to the crew down below. So you're sneaking across. The bluffs are up ahead. The captain. Oh, okay. I'm gonna roll for the captain.
Whoa. I was hoping you'd forget.
Oh, okay. It saw the captain. Drat. Okay, so the captain has to make a dexterity check to see if he can dodge this thing as this thing reaches down to bite the captain. Ooh, 10. That's going to be close. What's the captain's dex? Calico Jack. Oh, his dexterity is 11. That was close. He had to 10. He had to roll under. I was like, ooh. Okay, so Calico runs and dodges, and holy crap! And this thing reaches down and goes to bite him. His teeth snap, crack, and Calico jumps and stumbles into a crack in the rocks for the moment, hidden. And the creature comes forward, kind of sniffing and nudging its head around. Snap, snap, snap. Is everyone gone this round?
Oh, Bjorn. It's hard being two characters.
Holding the leaf up.
Can Bjorn like have the leaf above him and like just shuttle across like
That's
almost like a
perfect.
turtle?
I'll give it. Yeah, that's awesome. I'll give him an
He's hidden.
advantage dexterity roll to see if this
He's
creature.
so bad at this.
I know. And he's
Oh, he
just-
makes it.
Yeah.
It's convincing.
and trust me, I'm giving you big advantages on some of these rolls, but if you fail them, oh man, it's like you might die.
Yeah.
So Bjorn, like, shuffling across with the leaf, and he gets near a bluff area, and for the moment he can get refuge, and he's like, oh my god, I think I have to change my gussets. So next round, you guys have found refuge in the bluffs. So if you stay hidden in cracks and nooks and crannies, you should be safe from this giant lizard creature. But you know that 400 feet up above, there's this huge, giant lizard or goblin, gorilla that those of you who saw had your friend perched on a rock bluff.
Well, I think we're all in trouble here.
I'll let you think about it for a minute, and you have to propel this now, because I'm going to run the creature like a pissed off lizard giant Tyrannosaurus Rex, is what it is, of course, right? And King Kong is King Kong. He probably could use some more food.
I got a bottle of rum. I'm gonna take a swig of my rum and pass it to Zhang Shuang.
She takes it and passes it back.
Now is definitely the time.
So,
Let's start with Jackie. You're bruised a bit and hurt like this. You're like, oh, and your ribs are sore when you like sneeze. And you're on this bluff looking down, and yeah, it would be difficult to get down, to say the least. Like, he put you on a spot, like you're perched here. It would be very difficult to climb either way. And the monkey is looking intently at at Rex, and he's snorting like, and he hits his chest once in a while, and looks at you suddenly, intently for some reason, once in a while.
Like up top, me?
And yeah. Oh, I was gonna all of you in the cliffs all have to make a dexterity roll, real quick, to see if you avoid being spotted by Kong.
You have to make a dex roll.
okay, you're not going outside.
And Bjorn, of course, with his leaf gets advantage.
'Kay.
Sticking to his guns, sticking to my original strategy. I'm just a giant leaf. You're not looking at me. I'm drinking my rum under the leaf.
Are
Being
we
me.
advantage or disadvantage?
It's a
was
song
a-
Buzz
it was a-
has to write.
Buzz is still invisible. Does he get advantage?
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, I failed.
So, Jackie,
Yeah,
you
no.
see Kong, his attention suddenly shifts near the edge of the bluffs down below, you see somebody scurry. Like you're like, who's that? Because whoever Kong sees, you see as well. I kind of ruled.
Mhm.
So, but he sees and he's he hits his chest a few times, and he reaches over and he tears a chunk of sod and rock from the cliff. Ugh. And it's next round. All right, so good job, everybody. You're still alive. I'll everyone roll dexterity. If you fail, you go after Kong and Rex. If you succeed, you can act before them. And now, feel free to kind of go out on a limb. Jackie, especially, you realize that Kong is kind of seems to expect things from you.
I don't know what they're expecting.
Yeah, I know. You better come up with something, because he'll get bored. He's a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
I failed.
I failed too.
Both Jackie and Bjorn failed.
Oh, holy.
Wow. And let's roll for the captain. Captain passes. So the captain's looking around, and he's with you, and you guys are in these nooks and crannies, and you're seeing this huge Tyrannosaurus Rex, and he's looking for an opportunity to bob his head and grab one of you and pull you out and eat you, looks like, and also looking up at this creature up on the bluffs, and the captain's looking around, and okay, I have an idea. It's dangerous.
What's new?
Down this gorge, I hear a river. If we run, we can jump. I hear a waterfall. Are you with me?
Aye, Captain.
Sure. Yes.
She's so close.
I think it's Jackie up there on the bluff, he says, though. Is there some way we can tell her? He's yelling at you. We don't have much time.
Do you have any magic that can do that? Can we send up a pterodactyl with a note?
And then the captain does something incredible for you guys. Incredible. And he turns to you all and he gives you kind of this wry grin. Run! He yells at you and he points down the gorge. And then he goes running out and he shoots his musket. As he's tempted to, you're not sure what he's tempted to do. He's distracting.
Is my charm spell strong enough to charm these massive creatures?
No.
Okay.
And it was his turn. You see, he acted impulsively, and he's young, and he was trained originally as a British officer, but he botched something in the past and had to go another path.
Well,
But do you stay or do you run?
I'm gonna go with Captain.
Oh, Bjorn is running.
You got her, boss.
Yep. You said run. Going running. Okay.
Yep.
I'm taking the leaf with me, so it's just running like that.
Awesome.
Shuang's gonna watch and see what happens.
Okay.
Staying for a round.
Okay.
And she's got her bow and arrow out. As if that could do much.
Was I had a co-op doing
I'm gonna head with the captain there.
with the captain?
Yeah, he didn't run off towards the water there.
No, he's running out to
No,
destroy.
he actually ran down the valley.
Oh,
He told us.
oh,
to
I
run.
misunderstood that.
Yeah, pardon me. He seems he's sacrificing himself. Or
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna head the other way though.
So you're heading
I'm
down to the
getting-
river. He says, our only hope is jump in the river.
Mm-hmm.
Both these creatures will eat us.
Yeah, I'm gonna head to the river.
Okay. And who's left? That's it.
Jack,
So who stayed and was saying they're waiting?
swing
Okay, you have to make a dexterity roll.
for stealth.
No, to see if you get eaten.
Let me pass.
11. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, high or low, Carly?
Hi.
High? Okay. Oh, it's not your day. The
Whoa.
creature turned and ran at you and snapped at you. And you have to give me another dexterity check. It missed you with its main bite.
I thought it was in the rocks.
No, you stayed there, you said. Instead of when he
Yeah.
said run. Yeah, even then, he can still bite you.
Oh,
He gets advantage if you're not in the rocks, by the way.
yeah. I
Or
thought
you're
you-
at disadvantage if you're in the open against him.
Okay.
But you succeed, right?
Yeah.
So you run down. So you'll decide what to do next round. Anyway, the captain is grateful that the thing went after you instead, but he runs off. And you guys, last you see of him, and he's running off into the jungle. And who jumped in the river?
I did.
Ah,
Bjorn is making his way over there too.
okay. Can you swim? Imagine not everyone can.
I
What
think
do you wish
that
to do?
all
Pardon me.
ship we would swim.
How fast is that river moving?
At this point, pretty fast.
Oh, great. I'm gonna jump right on in.
And there's a waterfall. He said that.
Yeah, there is. Now Kong is snorting and he sees that the Rex has got distracted, is chasing the captain and what's her name? And he looks back at Jackie and then goes running down, like moving really fast. He'll be there next round or two down below.
How far is that waterfall away?
About a minute or two.
Oh,
Very close. So the party's being split up again. We'll start a new round. Pardon me, get organized. Jackie Rabbit. Everyone roll your dex to see who goes first, by the way. This giant lizard creature can still eat one of you if you get close.
Oh, I failed again.
You guys don't hit those. Wow, Carly. Rare failure.
So far, both initiatives I failed.
Okay, whoever succeeded can do something. And
I
Okay.
failed.
Jackie surprisingly actually succeeded this time. I think it's the first time that she's actually ever done that. What does it look like she's gonna need to do in order to scale down these cliffs?
Convince Kong to take her?
Oh, is he still not? Is he? I thought he was going down.
Well, he's gonna this round. You can tell. You can tell he's getting pissed off. He looks like a dog, getting ready to make a move.
I will get up, start dancing and singing. I don't know if that's gonna work. We're good at it.
Well, think about it. How could you perform? Like, think how Kong sees you. You're somewhat of a trophy fetish, right? Primate level. In some ways, he may want to impress you, or he may want to whatever. but you start to dance. And he does like the dancing.
Yeah.
If you want to just make a charisma check to see if you can distract him for a round, stop him from leaving. Or is there something?
Ride him.
You see, ride him.
Ride him.
Yeah. Could I actually grab onto him? And like, yeah, I'll just grab onto him if I can.
Well, you could gesture and so on and make it known that
Yep. Pick me up, bitch. Pick me up.
mimic. Yeah, that's what I mean. You have free reign here to kind of
Yeah.
interpret and do some interpretive dance. Okay, so you want to pick me up, You run at him and gesture and stuff, and almost pick me, and he grabs you, scoops you up, and holding you in that weaker arm. And then he looks down and shuffles and starts to climb down. And he'll be down in the next round or two, real quick. Shuffle, 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 shuffle.
Okay, acceptable.
Yeah, he's being a bit gentle though this time. He's not squishing you.
Well, that's good because I'm almost dead.
And who's next? Anyone else pass?
Did the captain roll?
Oh, yes, the captain. He passed. So the captain, he's ran in the swamp, and he spins around. Damn you bastard! And the creature didn't follow him. It went after Zhang, right? So he's like, he's you guys don't know what he's doing. I'm gonna say that he runs toward the bluffs of the ocean down here. And I'll just make a dexterity check to see. Yeah, and he slips away from the giant lizard and makes his way to the bluffs on the ocean. You guys might not be aware of this, but so far you haven't seen this thing eat the captain. So the thing's darting around, and it sees Kong coming down. And I think we're going to have a fight. It's going to be a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex taking on Kong, with Jackie cheerleading.
Yeah.
He's pissed.
For now, until I can run away.
Kong would have put you back on a perch.
Fuck.
Because you're a piece of treasure. But he puts you closer. He puts you on another perch, only about 100 feet above the valley floor. And then he comes crashing down. Oh, and I forgot one thing. Before he went down, he was going to throw a big chunk of sod and earth at Buzz's character, who failed, but it was water under the bridge, so you live. And Kong and this giant lizard are going to go at it. And you're perched 100 feet up, and he comes sailing in there and attacks the creature, and this epic battle starts. And the rest of you jump in the river, or the captain jumps to the cliff edge.
Schwang didn't go to the river.
Sorry, Carly?
Schwang didn't go to the river yet.
Oh, right. What do you want to do?
Can I see Jackie?
Yep.
She's 100 feet up.
Yeah.
Can I climb up there?
Mm-hmm. It's much easier here. You can see there's stairs and stuff. There's the ruins at this bottom half.
Oh, nice. How convenient. Do I need to roll?
Yeah, to avoid the giant lizard.
Okay.
If you don't jump in the river, the lizard can come and try to grab you.
Okay. So is this a stealth?
Dexterity check, yeah. If you have advantage, your class does?
Yeah, if it's for stealth.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that. Don't miss this one.
I know, I'm really playing it. Oh, I passed.
Oh, yeah, we got that 18 dex. That is the best stat ever. Saved your life many times. So the creature avoids you, and you clamber up these staircases, and you see Jackie up ahead, and she waves at you, and she's like scantily dressed, as if some 50s movie. And Jackie!
So out of character.
Yeah. Sort of in character, kind
I always thought you were a man.
of.
Me?
I'm Jackie Rabbit. Who's next?
Um. Could we get the fuck out of here?
Yes, calm down. There's stairs, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, you can run now because Kong is fighting the lizard. There's this huge, vicious fight going on.
Okay. I'm gonna keep like as close to the rocks as possible and just scoot my little ass down there.
The others
Trying
went
to
the
stay out
river.
of. Okay, the river? Okay.
Oh.
Don't let that thing grab you. It won't really let you go, except for when it just let me go 10 seconds ago.
All right, well, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So your options are, and it's like one of those old novels you used to read where it gave you the option, right? Turn to page 9 or 68. You can follow some people down the river and go down the waterfall to escape the territory, or you can try hide in the mountains. Now, the risk here is if Kong wins the fight, he'll come back into the mountains.
And
he
if
loses
he
the
doesn't win
fight, well, we'll
the
see.
Rex is in the mountains.
Yeah, and the waterfall does go off this kind of plateau into another area.
Well,
But
Let's-
Marty's character Jackie seems to have a little connection with Kong. Perhaps you could use him.
If everybody's going that way, I think we should probably go that way. Also, somebody's stolen all my shit, so when we get back, I need to beat some motherfuckers up.
excellent.
Okay.
Those natives have something to...
I'll give her my weapon because you're a lot better with that than I am.
Okay.
And so if you want, everyone, I'll let the party assemble. Either they can stay in the mountain valley, and so you'll have to deal with Kong again, or you can go over the waterfall and into a new area, or you can retreat back to the jungle. And well, you could stay and see who wins the fight. I was going to actually end the session soon and pick it up. Things got a little bit crazy, I realized, but I was having fun with King Kong, and I'm surprised it didn't eat anybody or the Rex, because I gave you guys some good rolls, but if you missed one, this thing's bite is like game over.
Yeah, we're lucky.
Yeah, but yeah, good job though. So for the moment, to clarify, we'll have the party kind of assembling near the river edge where you can go off the edge, or take your chances in the mountain, or sit and watch the battle and see who wins. And then let Marty seduce Kong.
Don't let me do that.
I don't want to do that.
Not only is Jackie bad at it, Marty is also bad.
Even worse.
Yeah.
Just some options. And I'm wide open on the table. In this game, there's a little gonzo element. So if you have something you want to come up with, I'm all ears. And next session, we'll pick it up. I have plans to play 1 or 2 more sessions in this game, and we'll see what happens. And I have many games on the run, many on the back burner. And if you're all interested in continuing later through the summer and playing when you can, that'd be awesome. But we'll talk about it in the future.
Okay.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Everyone survived again? That's cool.
We've been doing good at that so far.
Yeah, Bjorn's fun too, under his leaf. And,
Are we able to level up?
oh, no, because you have to go through 3 adventures now. So next time you will.
Well,
I
did
think,
we
right?
level up to level 3? Because I still am level 2.
Yes, we are level 3.
Oh,
Whoops.
wasn't I both level 2? So time to do that then.
Yeah.
Ah.
You guys are getting tough. Yeah, because you took a lot of hits there, Marty.
Yeah, Jackie has 24 health. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, she gets that D10, and I've rolled good.
Nice. Well, I had a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. And Marty, I recommend watching King Kong. The Peter Jackson movie is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some good Jack Black's in it. And some other good acting, but it's really action packed, and I've drawn some inspiration from it. But the plateau beckons, and I played it too. If you watch the movie, you realize Kong is like a potential ally.
Yeah, because you mentioned it, and I'm like, fuck. I don't think I've watched any of them. I know there's
No.
multiple like Kong movies, but I don't think I've ever watched a single one.
No, they're great movies. That's why they keep remaking them, and the story's awesome. Well, thanks everyone for playing. I had a great time.